Hey everyone, my name's Manny and I want to give you a small introduction to a little roguelike that I've been working on for the last little bit. The basic premise of this game is that you're a hero progressing along a bridge trying to stop enemies that are trying to invade, and I managed to implement the base features of the game required to kind of go along and add in advanced features as required. So the player has been implemented and he's able to move on a grid in all directions at the moment. He's also able to attack enemies if they're close enough to him. I've also implemented the random world generation. So like I said, it's a bridge, so a lot of the tiles are placed so that they'll be spawned vertically rather than as rooms. I've also implemented base enemies that will follow and try to impede the player from progressing any further. They spawn randomly throughout the level and there will be a greater variety, but at the moment I've implemented the base enemy who spawns and chases the player around. And they work okay for basic enemies. They don't have very advanced AI, and the general premise of them is that they will just basically try to stop you from getting any further. I am working on enemies that will kind of spawn in off looks like this, where it's more centered to a trap and they're constantly firing at you. I also want to add in another feature where in a certain parts of the map you'll get long offshoots like this, and sometimes even longer, where the player might not want to kind of go into them, but I like to implement so that if the player does go that way, there will be a good reward for them to kind of to navigate off the beaten path, and that's kind of in the pipelines at the moment. I'm also working on implementing enemies that shoot projectiles, because at the moment it's very easy to cheese these enemies, because you can just stand there and force them to come to you by kind of passing your turn to them so that they move on their turn closer and closer to you. But if they have projectiles, I think that forces a bit more strategy to the gameplay, because you can't just sit there and try to make them come to you. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I said, the world is randomly generated on a vertical, and it gets pretty long, and the next step is, like I said, to implement more enemies and items so that there's a bit more reason to work along the world. Another step that I want to add in is that where there's off looks on the bridge where it looks kind of broken, or it doesn't make sense for there to be offshoots like that, I want to add in obstacles and or kind of show that the bridge has been destroyed, or maybe somehow been ruined in a way that the player cannot go on that ground. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you follow me along on this journey to complete this game. I'll be sharing another update soon. Thanks. Bye.